Okay, so when it comes to disease, we usually focus on the liver. We focus on different organs. We focus on if you pay attention to this organ or that process, and you eat this type of a food, you take this type of a supplement, you're gonna get better because your body is a machine and it is made up of different mechanical parts. And if you concentrate on that one area, you're going to be okay. And this is a complete fallacy of thinking that the medical system has propagated for decades and even a century. The truth is that the body is a bioenergetic vessel. It houses our energy, our soul, our spirit, and our physical organs. But these organs are connected to this energy grid that are the meridians in the body, the chakra system, and they correspond to each other. They work together holistically to ensure that the whole process, like in a factory, the whole process becomes regulated. So our body functions much like a factory. You have different operations. You have your liver, you have your heart, you have your endocrine system, and they all come together to create a specific output. And when it comes to our bodies, that output is regulation. So all systems have to work together so the body is regulated and not predisposed to disease. So when you have a specific health issue, a doctor is going to probably tell you, okay, it's caused by your heart, underperforming, performance, weakness, genetic weakness, lifestyle, causation of a weaker heart. But the doctor will not talk about what caused that heart to become weaker. And it may not be that the heart is genetically weaker per se, or that your diet has caused your heart to become weaker. The cause could be very different. It could come from, let's say, blood pressure. And blood pressure is not necessarily correlated with the heart. Blood pressure can cause the heart to function in a certain way, but blood pressure is caused, the cause of blood pressure stems from kidneys and adrenals. So the performance of the kidneys and adrenals cause the blood pressure to go up or down, which then causes the heart to experience a certain type of activity that in some time can become dysregulated. So this is kind of how the body works. Nothing is independent per se. No system, no organ functions independently. So the fallacy of taking medication for any one organ or system is that may not be the reason, the cause behind why that system is underperforming. So medication is really a suppression of symptoms. It suppresses the pain, the discomfort, the what we really see in the external world as what we perceive the disease to be, but that's actually just our bodies telling us you're dysregulated and this system is down, but it is up to us to then go back and see why. Why is that system down? Was I stressed 2 months ago when I kind of suspected the symptoms were coming on? Did I start eating this processed diet once I moved to the city and now I see the differences in my health? We have to be those investigators because doctors are only going to do what they're taught to do. And that is mostly using pharmacology or basically using drugs to treat symptoms. But what we can do is investigate and understand holistically how our bodies work and then give the body that regulation that it's seeking. So then we can decide, okay, what does the body really need here? What am I missing? Emotionally, physically, mentally, spiritually, where are the gaps? What do I need to regulate and bring back into balance? So that is our personal job. We are responsible for our health. So that is just some wisdom, some naturopathic wisdom that's important to know as a precondition to understanding why I'm going to talk about one organ that is really, really important in terms of the whole body regulation and in terms of keeping disease at bay. This organ works together with other organs. They all work together, but this organ specifically works with other organs and deals with the lymphatic system. And the lymphatic system is the body's waste system. So it's 4 times as long as the blood system. And if it works properly, the body can then keep healthy. This lymphatic system is basically the sewage system of the body. So imagine your house and you have a bathroom, and that's exactly where the sewage is found. But imagine that this bathroom just starts, breaking apart, and the sewage starts flooding your house. All of a sudden, all of the rooms of the house are going to start stinking. You're going to see all kinds of different particles and unsavory things in your house. And you're going to find it uninhabitable. It's going to start rotting, it's going to start decaying, and all chaos will ensue. And that is exactly what happens in the body. If we let the sewage in the body stay longer than it's supposed to be in the body, then the sewage will go to the weakest areas of the body and start to degenerate that area. So let's say the weakest area of your body is your brain, your head area. And let's say your lymphatic system is very stagnant. It means that when it's stagnant, it's not circulating properly, the kidneys are not filtering it properly. So it is just basically stuck in between different cells. Since the lymph system is highly acidic because of the waste it carries, anywhere it stagnates, that's the area where you're going to see degeneration. And if your weakest areas are, the brain and the kidneys, and you know that genetically, or you know that as, a part of your medical history and your lifestyle history, then you're going to have to think, okay, I have to circulate this waste better. I have to make sure my lymph system is draining. And if it doesn't, then those areas will become weaker because the lymphatic system stagnates in the weakest areas of the body. But if this sewage system is able to be filtered and purged by the body correctly, then the body will be free from this waste that usually degenerates, that causes inflammation, and down the line causes chronic illness. So what are these organs and why are they so important? Well, these organs are the kidneys. So the kidneys deal with most of the body's detoxification process. And this process basically ensures that the body is clean, it has the energy to then self-heal, and that all of the processes are regulated. So if one process is down, then all of these other processes can take over and regulate that process, take over for some of its functions to make sure that it doesn't basically escalate, and that the process, that one underperforming process, becomes such a big deal that it causes us to become so dysregulated that we become ill. So what you do to one organ, you do to all the organs. If one organ is down, all the organs are going to feel it because they are a team. They work together. And the kidneys work together with other parts of the body. So when the kidneys are down, what else is down? So this is really important because the kidneys handle our blood pressure. It is the kidneys, not the heart, that is responsible for either high blood pressure or low blood pressure. So when we are measuring our blood pressure, we are actually looking at the performance of the kidneys and the adrenal glands. And a lot of different disease symptoms come about as a result of high or low blood pressure. And the most common are heart attacks and strokes. And because of this logic that the kidneys cause high or low blood pressure and that can cause strokes and heart attacks, you can say that the kidneys are the cause of heart and brain issues. Not all the time, but specific issues that we are, as a society, really prone to. So the kidneys have such an important place when it comes to disease formation. Not only do they regulate the function of the heart and the brain, they also regulate the function of the liver. They also regulate the function of the endocrine system. Because the kidneys are directed by adrenal glands. Adrenal glands are basically the glands that tell the kidneys what to do and how to do it. They're part of the endocrine system. So when the endocrine system is down, it's not as properly functioning, so can the kidneys be down. And vice versa, if the kidneys are down, then the adrenal glands that help the kidneys function are down as well, which causes dysregulation in the whole endocrine system. And you can see how the body just functions holistically through just this scenario. So the kidneys have a lot to do with how our bodies are going to regulate. They have a lot to do with pressures and the energy levels in the body. In traditional Chinese medicine, the kidneys were always seen as the seat of energy creation. This energy creation in that tradition is usually preset by genetics. So we inherit our parents' qi, or their prana, or their energy through the kidneys. And now you can see how the kidneys not only regulate that energy, but the energy is also the pressure of the lymphatic system, the pressure of the circulation of the blood. So not only do kidneys function as regulatory organs, they also detoxify the body from lymphatic waste, acids, toxins, chemicals, and so forth. So they act as filters. And while the liver does transmute chemicals and foreign elements to help the body process them, it is not a detoxification organ. That is a fallacy. Liver is an alchemical organ. It changes chemistry from a very acidic, very chronically dangerous, toxic environment or a toxic chemistry to a lesser toxic chemistry that the body can handle. So that's one of its jobs. It transmutes. Whereas the kidneys, they purge. They act like filters. They're the most important detoxification organs in our bodies. So during a detox, you always go to the kidneys. You strengthen the kidneys. You do that so they can filter the lymphatic system better, so this waste doesn't become stagnant in the body, and they can help regulate all the other organs and systems alike. And remember, the lymphatic system is always involved in disease formation. So if your lymphatic system is not performing correctly, it probably means your kidneys are not doing well. Your kidneys are not filtering the lymphatic system. So both are interrelated. So if you notice more signs of inflammation or any symptoms of disease, chances are your kidneys are weak. So there are many ways to strengthen the kidneys naturally, and you can do that with the diet, with herbs, and relaxation. But there are key things that you should not do to help your kidneys function better. So my 3 top tips of what not to do to ensure that your kidneys function better is: number 1, to not have a lot of protein, because the protein intake, complex protein intake, causes the kidneys to weaken. Protein is very highly complex in terms of chemistry, and the kidneys are involved in the digestion and utilization of proteins. So when they have to work harder, they obviously lose a lot of energy. So when you're eating a high protein diet, you're basically taxing the kidneys. The same thing goes with a lot of salt. So sodium or salt, especially processed table salt, is extremely toxic to the kidneys. In small amounts, the kidneys can take care of it, but in higher amounts, the kidneys become weaker over time, and this causes high blood pressure and all kinds of different symptoms of disease. And the third thing is stress. So stress is a highly acidic emotional and mental state. It causes plenty of dysregulation in the body, and it taxes the nervous system, the adrenal glands, and the kidneys. So definitely have a more relaxed lifestyle, bring in more Zen type of tools into your daily repertoire, and make sure to stay as de-stressed as possible. So I hope you liked this video, that you learned a lot. And if you did, please show some support. You can like this video, you can subscribe, and if you'd like to learn more about detoxification and what it takes to keep your body healthy naturally, all my information is down below. Again, thank you for watching, and take care.